welcome to Storyboard. I'm Shibani Gharat. In a special chat today, we are catching up with Ali Harris Shere, Chief Operating Officer, Biscuits and Cakes Cluster, ITC Foods Division. Sunfeast Mom's Magic has launched the Will of Change campaign, which advocates for equal inheritance rights, particularly for daughters. This initiative aims to empower mothers to become a mom of change and lead the charge in advocating for equality at home. Ali is shedding light on what is the long-term commitment towards this purpose. How does Sunfeast differentiate itself in the competitive biscuit and snack market today, their approach to innovation in the biscuits and cakes category, and any particular trend around the festival that is catching their fancy. Ali, welcome to CNBC TV18.
Thank you so much, Shibani. Lovely to be with you.
For Sunfeast Mom's Magic, you have launched the Will of Change campaign, which advocates for equal inheritance rights, particularly for daughters. Why did you choose to align the brand with this issue?
So, Shibani, see, Mom's Magic is a purposive brand, and we've always had a point of view about the mothers and the cause that the brand stands for. There are two ways in which we look at multiple campaigns on Mom's Magic. One is that we've been championing the cause of the mother. We've been taking some issues that she has faced or she faces in her family. This time we thought that let's take up something slightly more sensitive, but something that has more impact to be made in society. And we realized that, when we were doing our initial research, we realized that equal inheritance was an issue. And the statistics that we came up with, which is only 7% of women get equal inheritance in will, was a very hard-hitting fact. And I thought, and we thought as a team, that it's a very good idea for us to take this cause and build awareness around this.
Okay, tell me, what is the objective that you have set out for yourself with this Mom of Change initiative? What is the long-term commitment towards this purpose?
So, see, the way we define the mother is we call her warmest superpower. She's the superpower because she has the ability to change. At the same time, she's warm. The way she would do it is very motherly. Now, and therefore, what we are looking as an eventual outcome of this campaign is this change in society, this shift in the outlook on how we look at inheritance. Because the moms have also possibly gone through a stage like this in their lives. They understand what it is and what it feels like. Coming from them will make a big difference. Also, they really don't discriminate between their children. We understand and realize that it might take us a little time for people to really come out in the open and commit and talk about it, but it needs to start from somewhere. And that 7%, like you said, is a very stark, hard-hitting fact. It needs to change. The laws in the country actually say that the inheritance should be equal between sons and daughters, and there's no reason why it should be different.
And how do you see the competitive landscape evolving in the biscuits and cakes market?
It's a hard-fought category. You are absolutely right. And just to give you a little bit of context, it's the largest FMCG category in India. It's the largest food category in India. So it's a very large category, and therefore everyone whoever has a play either in cookies, biscuits, or adjacent areas, try it and participate in this opportunity. So it's a hard-fought category. There are players who've been in this for the last 100 odd years. And therefore, it's important to understand that some of the advantages that large players had over a period of time are also going away. Technology now is available to everyone. Distribution, which used to be a big strength of large players, is now getting into alternate ways of distribution. So e-commerce has come in, modern trade has come in, which are breaking those barriers that used to be there for somebody new to come in and start selling their products. Now, in that context, it's very important for us to realize that the point that you were making, which is differentiation. The question is that are our offerings differentiated? Are our offerings superior to anybody else? Are we using the right technology? And therefore, can technology become a source of advantage for us? And that's what we ask ourselves on an everyday basis. When the distribution models are evolving, when e-commerce is becoming large, how can you understand e-commerce better than anybody else or better than players who are coming in now? How do you really have that first mover advantage in that sense on something that is coming up new is really important. And those are the things that can help us really stay ahead of stiff competition that is there in our category.
Also, if you can share your approach to innovation in the biscuits and cakes category, what are some of the innovations that have worked well in the recent past for you guys?
So I think innovation is really important. We really believe that, there is a dimension even to innovation. We believe that innovation is required for growth. Innovation will help you get that incremental growth that you need. But you possibly also need disruptive innovation, because it's the disruptive innovation that helps you with some dramatic change in power equation amongst the players that operate in a category. Because if you continue with what you have, you will not be able to make that dramatic shift in the power equation. Now, in that context, there are 2-3 ways in which we look at innovation. One, can we do something new to biscuits or cakes? So Dark Fantasy was one brand that we had launched a few years ago, which was the first of its kind. There used to be sandwich biscuits. We filled a cookie with molten chocolate, and the experience was very different. And if you create a category, you own it. We created that category, we own it. We are the market leaders in the filled cookies category. So what next on Dark Fantasy? We're working on multiple ideas, and that's one way of innovating. The other is that, biscuits as a category is also habit driven. You consume a Mari biscuit every day in the morning with your chai. You consume, so there is a habit of consumption. And therefore, there is another way to innovate, which is how do you get fluency in your innovation? So you do something on Mari, but you do it in a manner that it doesn't make the consumer, the current Mari consumer, it doesn't make it too difficult for them to shift, whether in terms of pricing or in terms of the product sensorials. Of course, you need to add value to what the consumers are having, and that becomes fluent innovation. So, for example, we have just done a product called Sunfeast Super Egg and Milk Biscuit. And the whole understanding was that it used to be glucose biscuits, and then milk biscuits came and tried to upgrade from glucose. Now the question is, what will upgrade from a milk biscuit? And how do you add value to a milk biscuit? And the way we did it, by adding egg to it, which is what is known to have goodness, protein, all of that. And therefore, a consumer who's having a milk biscuit will fluently upgrade possibly into a egg and milk biscuit. So that's the way we look at fluency as far as innovation is concerned. And thirdly, I spoke about it, which is right to win. Innovation is not only about new products. How do you continuously upgrade your existing offerings? How do you build more value in your existing products? How do you create that right to win that I spoke about is very, very critical.
What are the trends that you have observed in consumer preferences regarding, your biscuits and cakes?
So, I don't think there are any new trends that are emerging, Shibani. But, I think what is important for us to understand the 2-3 things. One is that biscuits is a widely penetrated category. Almost every household in this country gets a biscuit. And therefore, value sensitivity to biscuits is quite high, because you consume every day, you consume large quantity on an everyday basis. And also, there's this maximizer generation that is coming up, because what has happened is that the exposure that is there for the consumers has gone up significantly because of the digital era that we live in. But the reality and the means haven't skyrocketed in that manner. So the consumers are really looking for, the aspiration is there, but the means are limited, and therefore they're maximizing in whatever resources that they have, and therefore deal seeking, trying to get as much as possible is happening, and therefore we need to be cognizant of that trend. The second trend is the fact that there is indulgence and there is health. You see in the same household, both the trends will be seen. With the same consumer, you will see it. In the morning, the consumer will look for a healthy biscuit, which is a Mari or a digestive kind of a biscuit, but in the evening they are happy and indulging in a Dark Fantasy. So the same consumer demonstrates multiple needs through the day. So that's second trend. Then the biscuit also is a habit. You consume the same biscuit almost, for example, every day with your chai and don't get bored with it. So we need to cognize for these trends, and then we need to continue to work. Premiumization is another trend. So how do you really look at exciting options for consumers? Because some consumers are looking for that variety and experience.
And then finally, we are meeting in the thick of the festival. What are some of the key trends around the festival? Which markets are doing well?
The way we participate in the festival season is through gifting. We have a lot of our brands in biscuits and outside of biscuits and foods, which participate in the gifting opportunity. So this year we've designed some really beautiful packs for dark fantasy, which you can gift to your loved ones. So that's how we are participating in the festival opportunity. Now, having said that, the truth be told, there's a little bit of pressure that we are seeing as far as consumption is concerned. Inflation has gone up significantly, and we are finding a little bit of pressure on consumption. But we've got a very good response on our gifting range so far. But we are yet to finally conclude on how this year's gifting season will go. But we also believe that there is that seize the day mentality. And even if there is a little bit of stress, the consumers in India really want to live in the moment and enjoy the festival times, because they are possibly the best times in the year. And we hope that they will not compromise around these times.
Well, Ali, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today. It is time for a short break. On the other side, we have Ipshita Das, the Managing Director of Moet Hennessy India, who's sharing insights on some of the trends shaping their business and more.